MJ from Ultra TV. How are you? I share intuitive tarot on this channel. I do a lot of live streaming, which we joke about calling noodle shares because I like to philosophize and you know think broadly about lots of different subjects in this age of information and transformation. I've been intuitively guided by early on spiritual awakenings and an awareness, an intellectual and academic awareness of a paradigm shift on Earth. And here we are in this great energy, of this time on a global paradigm level where indeed, as my intuition has been sort of offering up on a collective level, we as a human species have been undergoing this paradigm shift, which is a conscious evolution. It means that some of us at least are very aware. We're consciously aware in our minds that our beingness as a species, hey y'all, is going through a pretty profound change. Hence this idea of a paradigm shift or mass spiritual awakening. I often talk about the quantum field, and of course this is part of understanding this paradigm shift, is that I'm somebody who denied my spiritual intuitive connection briefly during my teens and then briefly during my sort of early 20s to try to fit in. And yet I realized that that was part of this sort of apparent destruction of ourselves and the world, is the denial of that deeper connection. Hence why I published a book about how to be well in our bodies has everything to do with that primary connection to our own self and our own source. And the beauty of the time that we're living in is that science is totally backing up ancient spiritual teachings. It's like one and the same. Quantum, the more we evolve our scientific understanding in the quantum theoretical study, the more our ancient spiritual teachings are actually making total, absolute, quantifiable sense in as far as our human rational linearity thinking. It's like, holy shit, we got the game wrong. Like we misunderstood. Now, when we awaken, we often go down a lot of different rabbit holes in our spiritual communities, or certainly in this age of information, which in my opinion at this stage is terribly confusing. Especially because as a culture, as a people, we haven't, as a part of the shift is that we're moving into the aspect of self-responsibility, sovereignty, and autonomy. Certainly in my personal reality, discipline like meditation and yoga, body work, and healing practices have been absolutely fundamental in being able to stay grounded during this process. Not to mention, some of us are in effect part of this weird perspective, or people call spiritual, hippie, whatever, esoteric cult. A lot of it has been shamed and denied by the mainstream culture and continues to be sort of perpetuated in as far as, and it's almost like we have this wounding around it. So we have our own various aspects of fractured soul wounding, where at various lifetimes, or even just in this lifetime, we have experiences where we deny parts of ourselves through judgment or blame, or again trauma, which it's all kind of one and the same thing. And ultimately we rise ourselves out of it by essentially grounding ourselves into the truth of who we are. It's like all the rabbit holes, all the healers, all the stuff and things out there are ultimately only ever blinding us to ourselves, which is like our heart, our love, which is the infinity of self, which is the infinity of connection. Yeah. So Lindsay, hala, and then divine sight, like divine sight will testify. I literally like 2 seconds ago wrote, like, I woke up out of my bed. I'm literally like in my bed with my PJs on. I wrote to Divine Sight, just being like, I'm so sleepy. And then voicemail like, what is life? Like, I don't even want to do anything but accept the truth. And then I said to Divine Sight, I'm like, but actually, like, knowing me, I'll probably be live because I really want to talk about this subject, because it came through like, just as they do for this channel. It's just these intuitive nudgings to be like, talk about this. For me, again, the whole kind of platform of All to Love is being a clear channel for divine guidance and loving clarity, especially because there's so much info out there. And increasingly, I have to say, my own sense and responsibility to that is pretty spot on, because I'm just not engaging with anything. Hi Jason, love to all, bye. So basically, Lindsay, I feel you. It has been, oh, it's like, could it get any more intensifications than this right now, in like the heaviness? I no, Lindsay, but I think this is the shiz. I really honestly feel like, yes, let's all just retire. We're done. There's nothing more to do other than, because that's part of the, like, thank God I have a soul familia to share stuff with, because it was messaging divine sight that obviously gave me some kind of little fire up the R hole to get me here to be like, hi, what's going on, everybody? but also, but also a reminder that I'm like, this is on. This is happening. Oh, and here's my thinking, right? Let's just retire. Like, there's nothing more to do. You know it all already. Just let go and be in your heart and do whatever you want to do all the time. um, okay, because there's this other spin around paradigm shift energy. I saw this headline. Oh, hells yes. And that is, see the 0 point effect, how everything is one and the same. The truth is, like, when we know we've essentially, like, won, the game is up. And so what's the fight? What's the conflict? Holla, there's no conflict. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna live in peace, my flow lovers. Hence, let's start today. Let's just tune into that heart and be like, what do you need from me today? Like, do you want to sleep all day? Okay. Do you want to eat chocolate? Okay. Like, for rizzles, I'm like, why have we not been caring for ourselves like this the whole time, kind of thing? What? It's so weird as well, because it's like, when did it get so destructive and fucked up? Like, guys, like, fellow humans, what have we done? And also, this whole thing of, like, science, facts, mechanical progress, it's like, okay, great, but all of this science is also saying that this is the truth. So why are you carrying on as such? And I saw this really interesting thing. I didn't, of course, watch the video, but when you scroll and then all the headlines are there. And this interesting little thing from the screen popped up saying, save lives, control the virus. And I'm like, no, you've not controlled anything. and then also I realized it was like this sort of subliminal messaging of control humans. That's part of the paradoxical flip of the here now. I'm like, my lovers, that's part, you see it, right? Let's control the virus. But the virus isn't being controlled. We've had an outbreak. It's already out of control, according to that story. And so, and apparently, because it's not the virus that's in the lockdown, it's the humans. So I'm like, oh, oops, that's right. And that's why it's like, holla, holla, lovers. So now we see that out there's, that thing is our disempowered enslavement. As in, and every time we're moaning and complaining, we're giving it more power. So straight up legit retirement. So that it's like, let's really step into this new energy, which today just feels like just settle in. As in, okay, straight up, still go live and chit chat about whatever you want to talk about today. But honoring that within myself, and hence not bringing the tarot out, because I'm like, well, not sure that I have the energy to deliver messages of tarot today. I feel guided to talk about the spirit in the science meeting because I feel it's important for people, or for myself, to continue to noodle around like what is actually happening to us and what is this whole spiritual awakening mimbo jimbo, or how does it land? How does it actually land in our bodies so that we are acting it in and living it in truth? And gosh golly, it's not been necessarily a straightforward thing. Partly because the unity piece recognizes the unity. It's like no, we are actually all in this together. Although we've been all divided up. Hence, the increasing clarity of any divide and conquer tactic. And there's a lot of that, energetically speaking, that and thus it's sort of that control paradigm is also why it feels so harsh in our beingness. That's part of I would say, the cellular DNA restructuring that's actually happening right now, which is why a lot of us are just resting and chilling or just spending outside or like having to meditate, because there's so much human mental confusion. It's collective consciousness energy, right? So it's trying to find the answers out there will continue to elude us, because again, the science and the spirit meeting in the quantum realm for our human bridging process is basically smack dab over and over saying, you're creating this, you're doing this, this is your energetic biofeedback. And until we fundamentally allow that to land, bearing in mind in an energy such as this, in a pandemic, and it is natural part of evolutionary process, people die, people, a mass exodus, understanding above so below, a mass exodus is bound to take place when there's a massive frequency jump on any planetary or any existence realm, because it's a choosing. Because Hala, are you alive right now? So am I. Is it kind of intense? Yeah. So there's some beings who are like, I'm out. And there again, when you have no fear of death, there's a broader understanding of cosmic love even via the mass destruction. Lindsay Chica, you can send an email, sweet thing. Send an email or a voicemail if you need to just purge out some energies. Or we can hold space if you need to here as well, with the smoke of her fire, that is. Hi Bob, hi John, how are you? Bob, holla holla, that's exactly what Divine Sight is, a powerful healer. Especially because she lives in Dallas and I live in the UK. Yes, she smudged my arse. You guys are great. You guys are so great. But Lindsay, for Rizzle's girlfriend, you're never alone, sweet cheeks. I'm absolutely in my heart space totally here for you and serious though. I should be here if you need to have a chat. As in, like, literally just send a message of like blah blah blah, and then or I can do a little read for you. No more reincarnation. I'm spent. This is it as well. This is part of the, even all of these comments. We can't retire yet. Well, that's the actual retirement, is the retirement, i.e. the laying down of the old constructs, which is part of our absolute exhaustion. And retirement is because it is time to retire. It's like hanging up those old constructs and being like, yeah, they're over, they're done. We're not going back to that way of being, and we're just going to have to be, however we manage to find the additional resources of love and what was the word, nurturance, like how do we nurture ourselves, how do we look after ourselves when we feel like a ton of bricks, or we feel like there's no more hope, especially when we're not, it's not even like we're necessarily finding it or looking for it out there. I love you so much. I love you so much. There's so much mega hot love here, like really, really. Gigi loving Vibrashe. Hi, chica. Meditation to her, it's time to choose. Say, I choose love if you want it to push into our new reality. Holla, holla, holla. Thank you, John. So, and that's a really nice, I would say, like, reminder mantra is like throughout our days, just I choose love. Especially, again, we might feel feels. The feels can be a little bit probably swamp like, stew like, heavy duty, intensities. What is life? I don't want to be like giving up and stuff. And in the darkest hour, it's like, I'm choosing love. Like, so the deepest part of me, regardless of all of the various layers of circumstantial evidence, I just know my choosing. It's like this tiny little spark of light inside myself. I know you. I choose you. I love you. I allow you. I allow you to be here. It's all this really soft, gentle, like, simplicity in love. For nobody else but me, holla holla. Like, for the first time in my life, like, I don't even know who I am anymore because of that shift. It's only for me. There's this interesting energy for me right now of like, there's no world outside of us, and I know that seems to just, I can imagine it sending ripples of how dare you, look at the world, look at the, and it's like, when you've just been on these perpetual journeys after being sort of forced and sold like this is the world, and you've lived a life where every time you've really tried to fit into the world, you've ended up like on a path of destruction. After a few of those transformational cycles, you're a bit like, I don't buy that. And then, hey, hi, is anyone out there? Does anyone else also like not want to fit into that world? Like, I never really felt like I was that accepted anyway, but the world that I live in inside my heart space of just practicing loving this heart space and accepting this heart space is like, okay. And you know, I don't even want to fucking sell it some grandiose, like, it is pure heart love bliss all the time. It is, I am in ecstatic motion 24/7 because I have attained enlightenment. No, no. It's like, in the face of all the darkness, I can just sit with myself and be like, that's okay. Even when I feel like a big fat fucking failure, that's okay. Even if I feel like all is lost, that's okay. How? Hi. Because we is love. Like, how? How could you possibly feel it? Because the truth of the backbone of this entire reality is infinite fucking love. Fucking love. Watch your language, MJ. Okay. Sorry. It's the angel and the devil construct. You know that? Duality. Gemini. North Node in Gemini, giving us a broader perspective. It's true though, that's what Gemini is going to do for the collective. The collective is going to be, wait a minute, what is this thing about perspective? That's right, you have an option. You have a choice. You don't have just one other perspective, you have infinite perspective, my lovers. Choose wisely. Holla. That's the thing about mainstream media. They're trying to tell us all there's just one story. It's like, except for no, actually. Because I can tell you're just a puppet slave as well. Woot woot! That's why I stopped listening quite early on. Like, maybe for a lot of us here, it was like in my probably like, possibly even early age. But whenever we started learning that, holla Smith, how's it going? Is this real, 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 real love? This is real, real love. All the candy or just your fave candy. Wait, what is this? What is this? Is this a question? Hoot hoot. I am at ease and harmony, and universally love vibration is purely harmonious. It so is. It's just pure, isn't it? Hence, it's only my mental distraction of thinking I know what's going on that would disrupt the harmonic vibration. It's this Sasquatch Chewbacca. How are you, my friend? You changed your name. Yeah. So yeah, Bob. Like that's the. Also, I res with that. Like when you vibrate the love, like life just flows in these most miraculous ways. I have personally had in my experience the recent a year and a bit where I was like vibrating that love, like just being like, dang, this is fucking sweet, yo, and like bosh, bosh, bosh. And then part of the next level, I suppose, was then bottoming out in other aspects. Hence all these retrogrades and transits of self-love and self-worth. Like, you really think you're worthy? Bosh, like, don't know anything. Because there's a part in my book called Surrender Knowing. So obviously I had and I call it egoic arrogance. So whenever we think we know something, we're potentially just hardcore arrogant. I'm like, oh. Then we have, again, multiple ego deaths until we're humble as God. Which, straight up legit, I think sometimes is this whole cosmic retirement phase. Like, what else? What is there? What? Just more. Let's be human. Ah, just demons and monsters are the things are coming to kill us all. Like, that's the reptilian agenda ultimately. As in, keep us as the reptiles, the reptilian primitive brain function of humanity. That's my interpretation of what the alien agenda is. An alien agenda is specifically to do with keeping humanity in a certain constructed reality. And the kind of control system grid work has to do with keeping our brain in a primitive, unevolved state of consciousness, i.e. reactivity. Any kind of reactivity is a fight-flight response. Fight-flight response is in essence the reptilian brain. And that's cool. Like, that got us to a certain point of our own creative progress and evolutionary progress, because we were all sucking from their reality. Right. So, and so this enter meditation, enter yoga, because this whole story of like the conflict and the wars and all of this, that's just been that for most of us in this generation anyway. Yeah. And oh, right. So it's like, what's really going on here? Oh, we have to evolve ourselves. And I think most of us just had perpetual sort of shocks when we had these aha awakening moments, and we're like, guys. And what I think still surprises a lot of us are people don't want to hear it. What? I am all powerful? How dare you? How dare you tell me how powerful I am? I don't want to deal with my power. She's horrible, right? It's that kind of shit. Hence persecution. That's why so many of us have gone into hiding over these last few months and years. Like, for rizzles, right? That's why I was sharing with Divine Sight. It's almost like this energy of like going into hiding because the memory log of our beingness is persecution after persecution. But we're still alive. And like, because we're finding others, it's like, guys, do you understand what I'm talking about? Can you feel in my heart that I don't mean any harm? Can you tell that I'm not trying to make people feel bad about themselves, but I'm trying to fucking expose a deep, profound, visceral understanding through the infinite intelligence? Just now? Dang. Dang. Is that a good thing? The darn mirror keeps looking at me saying, who's the fairest of them all? Jeez Louise! Is it you? And that makes me think like, oh, is that a mirror work actress? Be like, who is the fairest of them all? I am. But we all are. Like, I wouldn't want to say that with all of you here with me, because I'm like, we all need to be claiming that. Thank you for that, Mycene. We can all be looking in the mirror and mirror, who's the fairest? You are. It's like, oh, yes. That's, I guess, for me anyway, a little piece of the node in Cancer, the North Node in Cancer, and that being part of my destiny. which is weirdly like just so deeply uncomfortable. Because I'm like, what? So I'm just supposed to sit here and nurture myself? I want to be busy. I want to have action. I want to go do stuff. I want to have energy, which clearly you guys give me energy because like literally what 25 minutes ago I was like lying in bed being like, I'm not even gonna go live. Like, fuck the world. Except it's like you create and I create my own reality, so I'm like, fucked it. you guys you guys get all of this paradoxical trickster energy, right? This is also part of the Gemini. This is also part of like this mass awakening, or people being like, oh, holy shit. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to open that mind of yours and start to look at different perspectives and figure out how those perspectives make you feel. Oh, what is that? You're gonna have to start paying attention and working from within to rewire all this. Because them screens in our living rooms have been sort of programming us to be consumers, consumer slaves as well. And the more you, if you pull in a thread in that consumer slave system, it just doesn't go anywhere nice. So unplug, grow vegetables, and hang out outside. Meditate more, spend time in silence, move your body, come on, move your body. Move your body, come on. I haven't moved my body today, but I shall. I move my body every day. Like handstands, dancing, mostly yogaing, but I like a walk. I feel like I will eventually have motivation to like do longer walks, but like the last few weeks has just been like, okay, fine. You want to close us down and oppress the whole world? Fine. Holla. So I'm like pretending to be playing along, but actually inside myself, I'm like visioning the new, visioning the new, visioning the new. I'm like, bullshit. Like, just don't listen to anybody. Just don't listen to anybody. Get clear. Why? Because you create your own reality. So get really, really clear. What is your life? How does it look? How does it feel? Ba 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 ba. Psh, psh, psh. Like sending out those rockets of desire, right? And being like, ah, deserve. Do you deserve? I deserve the abundance. Meanwhile, in other Earth planet projections, some people are like, meh, the control virus is coming to get us. That felt a little bit harsh, actually, because there's nothing in me that would want to make people feel bad. Because fear is fear and it feels awful. You know, stress is stress. At the same time, gosh darn it, am I ever tired of feeling bad? You know, if people take offense, that's their shit, really. I've been there. I don't know if you guys know a comedian named Sacha Baron Cohen. He used to do this thing called Ali G. And it is actually hilarious. Like, I would dare say he's quite a brilliant comedian. But I used to be in that sort of like raging feminist phase where like things offended me. And I'm so fucking pleased not to be in that space anymore. I mean, ultimately things don't even offend me because intuition doesn't even guide me into the energies that could potentially offend me. I sometimes might hear about them third party, and then that just makes me feel more grateful for the fact that I live intuitively and I don't come across those energies anymore. Holla! What? So you want to become one with the whole? Just become intuitive and stop thinking so gosh darn much. I'm aware of this as well, my lovers. Like, this is something that has been coming up for the last few years for me, is like the thinking. This is part of having an open mind and an open heart, is that we are just so like the thought program is so dominant. We don't it's so we don't even realize we're thinking these thoughts. We are open. Chewbacca Smith, we are open for sure. I mean, this is a very malleable I mean, I'm me, and so there's you guys are all reflections of me. So you feel me, like you guys would be totally cool if I didn't show up today. You'd be like, take a rest day, MJ, blah blah blue blee, but at the same time you're like, hello, right? Precisely, we are all, and precisely, you are all to love TV. Accurate. I love this. I love to love. Just speak the truth and things will stay or leave. I think I like you're saying like as in just vibrate like your truth and you know what's meant for you will stay, what leaves will leave, kind of thing. It's and also that's for some reason. Hey Rochelle, FYI, I did see Rochelle and I wanted to say hello, hagos. I I am the walrus. What is that? I am the doo doo cuckoo 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 cuckoo. How do I even know this? Like MJ, the Beatles were an internationally renowned group that are still also very legendary, so. Plus, I did an actual book report on the Yellow Submarine when I was in grade 5. Holla. So, I guess the energy today is like, just love yourself. I was gonna just pull some cards, and I will actually. Why would I stop myself from doing what my body naturally wants to do? And isn't that a whole part of it? Like, what are we doing here, humans? Why are we denying all of our natural impulses? Eating, sex, play, taking care of ourselves. Just deny all of it and work. All you're good for is work. Like, no, this is just the bullshit of life that one has to rise above. And legit, just rely on your own divine connection and trust that there are other humans that will help you out when shit hits the fan. Okay? Because that's legit what happens. And it is brutally intense on an emotional level, mainly because we're all programmed to think that this is about as wide a spectrum of emotions as is acceptable. Everything else beyond that is like depression, bipolar, anxiety, Asperger's. Like, there's all these spectrums and all these sort of ADHD and all of these things. And it's like, I mean, at some point we have to acknowledge that these ailments, so-called, have been programmed into our psyche. Too legit. Too legit to quit. Oh no, I just felt really dorky then. Did you guys ever get that? You know, when you like, have you ever had that? There's just certain environments where like it triggers my own insecurity. And I've been in certain environments where that has actually happened to me, where I'm like, I don't think I belong here. And it wasn't just one of my weird empath things, it was like I really probably didn't belong there. Dorky. No, guys, you're supposed to be like, no, MJ. You're super cool. Pumping your arms like a chicken, singing too legit, too legit to quit. Oh. It doesn't matter though, because I'm still smiling to the point that like literally smoke tears are coming out my face. I bought new mascara. I like to try different vegan waterproof mascaras, and this one is messy. Too legit. Is that MC Hammer? Too legit. Oh my god, I just don't stop that. You know, when you're a teenager, although not everyone will resonate with this, but it's like when you're in a place but you're not a little kid anymore, you're your own teenager, but suddenly you see that your parents are that, and that's like the first time you see your parents are also humans in the world, and you're like, oh no, what are you doing dancing at the club? And that's the moment where I'm like, I don't know, you feel like a mom. I'm not a mom, but I'm also not like a cool kid anymore. Not that I ever was. But what does that mean? You know, I was aware of the so-called cool kids, and I was like, are they though? Sometimes I think they're kind of mean, actually. Not all the time. Did you like that? Did you like that? Boom! Alright, so I've pulled 2 cards so far, loves, and I'm there's this sense of like loads of opportunities coming into star power energize. Seven of Cups, star power. There's sort of this sense of like, and again, these are the energies, right? Like really discerning in your mental landscape and your emotional connection, what's going to work for you, what's not working for you. This is the collective energy shift ultimately. Like, what do you really want to bring into your reality as a star? What do you really want to create in your world? And there's this energy of fairy and sparkle. I'm getting that a lot. Yeah, like a sparkly type of energy to walk into the new. It's like instead of a red carpet, have a sparkling carpet of light. After a period of seeming injustice, this feels like a very much a collective. Yeah, this is what we've been overcoming. These energies of overthinking. And there's a money piece. This is a huge part of it, right? As well as like the sovereignty. Really anchoring in our understanding of personal sovereignty and autonomy in every aspect of our lives. And those of us fully embodying that, understanding that, to collaborate ultimately on every level to continue to expand energies, although recognize that this is something I'll say for myself. Ronel in the house. Something, this is my, my Aries energy, but a learned Aries. Of like not moving so impulsively. It's the kind of grounding into the knowing of what we're moving into without any sense of having to rush, because the real deal is that there's nothing to do. Like there's only this encapsulated embodiment, trusted knowing that we are the way. So everything we're being asked to, everything we are intuitively imagining is what wants to come in. So allowing ourselves to embody it and continue to show up as that is the manifestation of it. The manifestations are landing. That's part of the Seven of Cups. Hey, Kurt Mill, how are you? Hiya, hiya, hiya. Nice to see you. Independence Day, is that real? Yes, the sparkles. Yeah. Yeah, so that sparkly energy is really coming in, lifting. Oh yeah, and then I had a vision. It was kind of a curious vision, but it felt geometric in nature, and it was this aspect of shedding layers. So, and I feel like it's one of the same as the cellular restructuring of our human DNA. And that as the cells are restructuring, there's the shedding of the old constructs. Imagine being that central pillar holding space for this dynamic metamorphosis to be taking place. And thus, again, understanding on a soul level why we want so much compassion and love for ourselves, because it is tiring. And holy cow, we've spent ages being slaves. We're tired. And no wonder we're having those kind of intuitive reactions of get off my back, don't talk to me, I don't want to listen to your thoughts anymore, I'm tired, I've been working on a false construct for like fucking ages here, and I'm beat. And that's often what I recognize as part of the prelude to a breakdown, is that energy is running itself out. I recognize it because I was there for most of my childhood and early adulthood. Was just this fucking pressure, go 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 go. Fucking hell, having a day of rest or a holiday, that was never rest. That was just either get really really wasted or feel guilty the whole time for being a big fat fucking lazy bitch, right? Like harsh critical fucking energy from within the self, destructive patterns. And I reckon that's why I'm so honest about the patterns that I still carry with me here now. I'm not saying they're holistic or that there's this perfect alignment. I'm saying that with the more we love ourselves, because I've been on a loving journey for many years, that I have seen my pattern shapeshift over these years by loving myself more. And I'm not saying that I'm a completed being. I've just taken another leap to produce and live even more in alignment with my soul's projection. And I'm sharing the story as I go, right? Just part of my sort of imagination was that I there's a lot of spiritual work or spiritual depth in my own heart space of understanding that I was missing out there. I was missing in the media. I was missing in the conferences. I was missing in my own, like, working with healers or working with da da da. And I felt there. One, I very much believe in our own personal sovereignty to heal ourselves. And I'm also very aware of the falsity of the economy. And so any of our constructs hooking into that is potentially a false construct, i.e., another enslavement pattern with under the illusion of love and light, right? And that's again part of our meeting point here is us being going to the absolute depth of our own creative field and then seeing how it operates in the projection. Thus we become more and more responsible, we become more and more self-disciplined to a certain degree. And I'm not talking about how my life looks, I'm talking about what's going on inside of me and ultimately how my life looks. And what I share with you guys, not engaging with other people's stories, other people's information, nobody's. I'm not interested. Especially because what I feel is insecurity, desperation, and confusion and fear. So at this point in my own intuitive journey, I'm going to go with my own feeling and just trust that. And move right along in my own understanding of what manifestation truly means and own that. And manifest the reality that I'm choosing, rather than be pushed and pulled and swayed in all these different directions by people. I get a sense, as well intentioned as they might be, they don't fucking know. They don't have a clue what's going on. And they're not self-responsible. They're not in dominion of their own lives because they've not been living that way. They've maybe been dabbling. But anyone who has taken the full leap will also feel that. It's like there's a difference when you're dabbling in sparkly thought versus actually endeavoring to live it 24/7. Holla, wanna retire with me? Yes, let's. Oh, you guys are the best. Ah, Gigi, so good to see you. It so depends, like, the different times I go, and I always trust that as well, right? You guys are awesome, right? Changed my pic to the sparkly pic today. Yay! I'm wearing parachute pants as well, FYI. Oh, did you hear that laugh? These kind of parachute pants, they're kind of like bagglish around the arse and the hips. So yeah, this is sovereignty. In this image as well with the Nine of Pentacles, this is fairly significant as well to my own personal, like, what I'm working on is really truly letting the manifestations grow from the earth, knowing that they've been planted. You see how this person's not struggling. The pentacles are just around them, plus the images that they're actually growing out from the earth. This being, she planted them. So she wouldn't have gone and worked it like a slave because she was concerned her pentacles weren't going to sprout. They've sprouted. So I feel like after this period of seeming injustice, this has been really about manifesting as many different options to get really, really clear about this. So as you come into this, what you're going to do from here, right? Because now this is the pattern break. Because justice and the star are major arcanas in this reading, which is the ultimate huge turning point. So coming into personal sovereignty, and this is financial, this is based on your resource. That means the projections you're being asked to do, the resources to create them, are going to show up. And all this other shit is behind you. Basically, it's full power mode. Coming in, owning your Empress energy. Empress and Nine of Pentacles I see is very similar sort of energies. So you guys, that's a lovely little reading for you. A little chit chat habadash about spiritual awakening and spirit and science coming together to invoke and stimulate and usher along this paradigm shift energy on Earth, which is an evolution of our own consciousness, which is really just how we understand ourselves in this reality. And so that's evolving, which will inevitably make our entire world be a more evolved world eventually. And so we help each other out by just sharing the journey and buying stuff from each other. You feel me? I have a few books left. If any of you want to buy a book, I'll send one to you. I have to go back up to some train sparkly pick today. Our energy. Holla, turn it round. Exactly. Oh, we've only been here for 10 minutes. I know, I've been here for oh, bless you. Oh. See, that's just made me really chuffed that I came live today. Again, Bob, because like before going live, I was literally like 2 seconds chat to Divine Sight about being like, I just can't, I can't do it. I don't think it was that kind of message at all, but I was literally waking up being like, what's up, boy? Probably not that bad, but still. And you guys are here like, holla holla, let's have chit chat. Let's be a lady tonight. That's not the words at all, but still. Let's be a lady tonight. Hey, I love how I said fuck it all and it lit on fire. Epic. What lit on fire? Spin me round, brown baby, right round like a record, baby, right round, right round. I know. But that's just okay. So this whole we create our own realities mumbo jumbo. I'm like, it was so great when everything was super aligned, but gee whiz, sometimes it gets intense and exhausting. And then I think, oh, but that's because you were working too hard, and you've been so programmed to think you have to try hard because you're running away from your own unworthiness. It's like shit. Ball sacks. Okay, so I gotta figure out how to totally love myself 100%, even though it would appear like all my worst nightmares have manifest. Yeah, let's like lean into those fears, moflo lovers, and holla at your fears, and just be like, well, I can either live like the fear is real, or sit with it for a bit and just wait it out, and then usually it disappears. That was a thing, wasn't it? Smudging. I think a lot of us might be smudging quite a bit. I'm burning a lot of incense, that's for sure. I got you. Yeah, one mind right here, lovers. One mind. One mind. Like, it just happens. Like, I'll message something, and then one of you will message me being like, I was literally talking about that with my friend, like, whilst you were live talking about it. I'm like, And then Elf messaged and just being like, this shared a little update, and I was like, oh, interesting, because it's pretty much exactly what and like the timelines of on a physical plane level, certainly myself and Elf, we've been on the go, we've been sort of flying from one place to the next, so it's been a really interesting journey. Hey, Dr. Victor, how are you? It's hammer time. Do. Is that right? Can't touch this. You always can't touch this, though. That's true. Oh, man. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Sometimes I get to these moments and I'm like, gosh, if new people ever showed up, if there were new people here, I can imagine they'd just be like, what is this? Let's be honest, I mean, from Masouf, sometimes I'll stumble upon things on YouTube and just be like, what is this? And they have like 6 bajillion followers. And I'm like, oh, interesting. So this is what all the kids are digging on. Oh, okay. Fun times. Where, you know, holla, what is life? Nobody knows anymore. So that's okay. Just keep swimming. Just keep loving. Just keep walking. Just keep going. So Bob, my lover, this is why I need to just shoot skis, because I'm talking Raz, Mataz, and I straight up have this energy. So I lead with heart, right? So it's like I get the inclination, no matter what sort of state I can be in, I'll lead with the heart and come live. And then, but the days where I'm sort of, I'm like a bit fuzzy, kind of. Do you also speak whale? Don't do this to me, Christian. Don't do this to me, because now I'm like literally in my mind being like, do I? Like, I'm trying to make whale noises. No. No. You want? Of course I do. I mean, do you speak dolphin? Wait, what is even the noise for like two whales and they have like a high pitched like woo. Wait, like the sonar. Guys, that just sounded like a bird. Duh, of course you speak dolphin. A Christian, teach me your ways, dolphin master. Although, I think that would be really fun, wouldn't it? Don't you guys? Because I know Bridget, I missed out because I started to bottom out financially at this point, but she did a retreat, I think, in Hawaii with like going swimming with the whales and stuff. And I'm like, I really want to do that. There again, this is the woman who speaks of the hybrid programs, which is also another element of understanding how humans have evolved on the planet from a certain historical perspective, which again bridges us into a galactic understanding of our placement here on Earth versus a limited like Truman Show story kind of thing. Yeah, there is a connection for a lot of us. I would say we have a connection with we have a connection to the star people. Thus, we have a connection to the well, all creatures. The hybrid Ra is yeah. Um, I think it will be a topic we could probably go in more lately. I feel there is this is again like kind of like understanding of the kind of galactic placement of beings, and indeed it's a false construct, right? And the it's a false construct. So the apparition of Ra is also this sort of dismantling of have a good day, have a lovely evening, Kurt Mill. Dolphins have a permanent smile. Dolphins are stunning creatures. I was visited by dolphins in 2014 in Mexico. So there's a connection to our own heart space and the central sun and Ra and this idea of hybridization. And so I would say there's almost not like a reckoning, but there's almost a point of invoking the energy to face the dismantling of the old paradigm. Which there again, like a lot of days, I'm still having quite profound emotional healings, which to me do feel like like the healings are actually alchemizing, they're purging density from my beingness, which in myself feel just like a kind of surrendering process in my body, like letting go, healing, shedding these falsities, especially because life has come to these points of just feeling heavier and heavier, where what else is there to do? What else? As in, I can either give my power to what is being told out there or fully own the state of my world. That I've done this for me to get clear, because it's been a really confusing few years. So let's all just fucking chill, right? And I'm not, although I'm like, oh, people could really misinterpret that. She's responsible. She did it. But that's my, that's also my, how I believe anyway we forgive ourselves and let ourselves and one another off the hook, is we're all responsible. It's just why as a unity species, like pointing fingers is just like, let's go around that rat race one more time. Ooh, that's resonant. The husky energy is resonant as well. Oh my god, I don't know. That's the juice of life. The soul family, call in your tribe. Yes, holla. It's happening, right? That's right. Change your power. We just got mental reminder of taking consciousness to the back of the neck. Okay. Thank you, Ronel. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean that, and that's a nice reminder. Holding space at the back, like I call it the atlas joint, where the cervical, where the spine meets the skull. So that joint, imagine light, bring light awareness. That's like the soul's, that's kind of how I understand the soul in that field of the body. And it's also a critical point for the kind of healthy flow of the nervous system, energy flow, right? Prana, all systems go kind of thing, right? Ooh, the dolphin energy. You'll send me that thing. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. The womb of the mind. Oh, I like that. Right, and there is a direct connection, the womb of the mind and the physical womb of the body. This is something else that's happening. It seems like there's like this charge, so these like little droplet insights seem to be coming in now that are then spurring on more of the shares, and then you guys are sending me messages which are then spurring on more of the shares as well. Again, I thank you, because all of us are helping ourselves and one another shapeshift, right? We're helping we're reflecting back the permission slip to make our dreams come true by being them. Not trying to manipulate them into being or control them into being. So yeah, I mean, we can noodle around the topic of hybrid and how I understand what people refer to as the alien agenda. My sort of part of my point of attraction is always to bring it back to unity. And this is the understanding in truth that you are the one creator, the one creator. The one. So everything in your whole, and I, just from having been practicing and living this for quite some time now, it's a recognition of just how profound and intense, and how it's not like a quick fix, like you manifest your reality. It's like a huge soul transformation, and well, a whole life transformation ultimately, even if you think it's just about one thing. All right, so I'm out, skis. Love you loads, you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of this soul tribe, familia, community of whales and dolphins. And yeah, reach out anytime you need to. Feel free to book readings, and check out All to Love website, and you can buy some merch, readings, coaching, online courses, and the book. Oh, Mary, message me if you want me to send you a copy. My lover. I'm definitely in one of those weird, extra weird moods. Not just the normal kind of MJ weird, like extra weird. Anywho, I'm out. I'm gonna go. Harmonious vibrational being to you, Bob. Love you guys. Big virtual hugs. Virtual hugs. Virtual hugs. So do you remember when I was like dancing to Too Legit to Quit? I see, Mary. I do see you. So just look at this like messy black mascara. Anywho, okay, I'm out. Love you guys. Mary, I love you, and I do see you, and feel free to... Oh, wait, there I am. Namaste, my lovers. I see you, baby, shaking that arse. Hit the like button. Come on, whales and dolphins. Is that like a whale? Oh. How about we don't go there again? Oh my god. Let's live in a yellow submarine all together now. I love you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.